Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we delve into the fascinating tales of the past. Today, we embark on an extraordinary journey through the annals of time, exploring the captivating story of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. This epic tale is woven from the threads of human ambition, conflict, and transformation, set against the backdrop of the ancient Mediterranean world. As we begin our narrative, let us first set the stage by examining the precursors to this grand drama. The Roman Republic's ascent to power was not a sudden phenomenon, but rather the culmination of centuries of cultural exchange, migration, and conflict in the region. To understand the roots of this remarkable story, we must venture back in time to the Bronze Age city-states of the Levant, where the Phoenician culture emerged around 1500 BCE. It was here that the Phoenicians developed one of their most enduring innovations, the first alphabet. This ingenious system of writing would go on to influence many present-day writing systems, leaving an indelible mark on human communication. By the early first millennium BCE, Phoenician cities, such as Tyre and Sidon, had established a vast maritime network of trading posts that stretched as far as Iberia, spreading their culture, religion, and language throughout the central and western Mediterranean. The strategic location of these cities allowed them to dominate trade routes, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies across the ancient world. One of the most significant Phoenician coastal colonies was Carthage, founded in what is now Tunisia, around 814 BCE. By the 6th century BCE, Carthage had risen to dominate the western Mediterranean, its culturally Phoenician communities becoming known as Punic by the Romans. The Carthaginian Empire would leave its mark on history, particularly through its conflicts with the rising Roman Republic, including the legendary campaign of Hannibal, who dared to cross the Alps with his war elephants, a feat that would be remembered for centuries. Recent studies have shed new light on the genetic history of these ancient Mediterranean civilizations. An international team of researchers, working within the framework of the Max Planck Harvard Research Center for the Archaeoscience of the Ancient Mediterranean, co-directed by Johannes Krause and Michael McCormick, has presented a groundbreaking study on the subject. This research reveals the intricate web of relationships between the Phoenicians, Carthaginians, and other cultures of the region, providing a fascinating glimpse into the complex tapestry of human migration, cultural exchange, and conflict that shaped the ancient world. As we stand at the threshold of this epic tale, with the Phoenician culture spreading its influence across the Mediterranean and the Carthaginian Empire poised to clash with the rising Roman Republic, we find ourselves on the cusp of a new era. The stage is set for the emergence of Rome as a major power, and the events that will unfold will be nothing short of spectacular. Join me as we venture forth into the heart of this captivating story and uncover the secrets that lie hidden within the annals of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we continue our fascinating journey through the annals of time, exploring the captivating story of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. As we now enter the golden age of the Roman Republic, we find ourselves in the midst of a period marked by remarkable achievements, transformative events, and larger-than-life figures. The 3rd and 2nd centuries BCE were a time of great expansion as Rome's territories grew through a series of conquests, including the subjugation of Italy, the defeat of Carthage in the Punic Wars, and the incorporation of much of Spain and Gaul into the Roman sphere. One of the most significant figures of this era was Cato the Elder, a statesman, orator, and philosopher who embodied the values of the Roman Republic. As he so eloquently put it, "Virtus repulsae nescia," virtue knows no defeat. This maxim encapsulates the unwavering commitment to excellence that defined the Roman character during this period. The city of Rome itself was a marvel of engineering and architecture, with its impressive aqueducts, roads, and public buildings. The construction of the Via Appia, one of the earliest and most important Roman roads, is a testament to the ingenuity and skill of Roman engineers. This magnificent thoroughfare which stretched from Rome to Capua, was built in 312 BCE and remained a vital artery of communication and commerce for centuries. As we wander through the bustling streets of Rome during this golden age, we are surrounded by the vibrant sounds, sights, and smells of a thriving metropolis. The air is filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting from the ovens of local bakeries, while the sound of hammers ringing against metal echoes from the workshops of skilled craftsmen. We see the majestic temples dedicated to the gods, such as the Temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus, which dominated the Roman skyline and served as a symbol of the city's wealth and power. The Roman Republic's military prowess was another hallmark of this era. The legions, with their disciplined ranks and tactical genius, were the epitome of military excellence. The conquest of Carthage in 146 BCE, which culminated in the destruction of the city and the enslavement of its inhabitants, marked a turning point in Roman history, as it secured Rome's position as the dominant power in the Mediterranean. As we explore this period, we are struck by the remarkable individuals who shaped the course of Roman history. Men like Scipio Africanus, who defeated Hannibal at the Battle of Zama in 202 BCE, and Lucius Aemilius Paulus, who conquered Macedon in 168 BCE, left an indelible mark on the Roman Republic. Their achievements serve as a testament to the boundless energy, ambition, and vision that characterized this golden age. As we reach the pinnacle of the Roman Republic's power, we begin to see the first signs of strain and tension. The vast territories acquired through conquest, the growing wealth disparities among citizens, and the emergence of powerful generals who would challenge the authority of the Senate all contributed to an atmosphere of uncertainty and foreboding. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we conclude our fascinating journey through the annals of time, exploring the captivating story of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. As we now enter the final chapter of our tale, we find ourselves in the midst of a period marked by turmoil, transformation, and ultimately, decline. The 1st century BCE was a time of great upheaval, as the Roman Republic faced numerous challenges that would eventually lead to its downfall. The vast territories acquired through conquest had created an enormous strain on the Roman system, with the constant need for military campaigns, administrative oversight, and economic management. The growing wealth disparities among citizens had also created social unrest, as the gap between the rich and the poor continued to widen. One of the most significant factors contributing to the decline of the Roman Republic was the rise of powerful generals who would challenge the authority of the Senate. Men like Julius Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus had amassed enormous wealth and power through their military conquests, and they began to see themselves as above the law. The ensuing power struggles and civil wars would ultimately lead to the downfall of the Roman Republic. As we wander through the streets of Rome during this period, we are surrounded by the sounds of conflict and upheaval. The air is filled with the smell of smoke and sweat, as the city is plagued by riots, assassinations, and factional violence. We see the once majestic temples and public buildings now scarred by the ravages of war, while the sound of clashing steel echoes through the streets. The Roman Republic's military prowess, which had once been its greatest strength, had now become a source of instability. The legions, once disciplined and loyal, were now often at odds with each other, as rival generals vied for power and control. The Battle of Pharsalus in 48 BCE, where Julius Caesar defeated Pompey, marked a turning point in Roman history, as it paved the way for Caesar's rise to dictatorship. The Ides of March in 44 BCE, when Julius Caesar was assassinated by a group of senators, marked the end of the Roman Republic. The ensuing power struggle between Caesar's adopted son, Octavian, and his rivals would eventually lead to the establishment of the Roman Empire, with Octavian, now known as Augustus, as its first emperor. As we conclude our journey through the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, we are left with a lasting legacy that continues to shape our world today. From the languages we speak to the laws we follow, from the architecture we admire to the governance systems we use, the Roman Republic's impact on Western civilization is immeasurable. And so, dear listeners, as we bid farewell to this magnificent civilization, we are reminded of the words of the great historian, Edward Gibbon, who wrote, "The decline and fall of the Roman Empire was a revolution which will be remembered for all eternity." Join me next time as we venture into new chapters of history, exploring the triumphs and tragedies that have shaped our world. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.